Sean, we're a week out. This is familiar ground for you, I suppose.
Yeah, this is where you play the game to hopefully create these great memories like we've already done at Aviva. As I said before, this week it can be a pretty long week, doing things like this and talking to yourself, Ruairi. Look, it's brilliant. The whole build-up to it, I said to all the boys, just soak it all in, because some of these lads, it might be their first and last time playing in the cup final. Obviously, I've been lucky to play in, my second one to be involved in, pretty much. But yeah, it's brilliant. Family, friends coming from all parts of the world to play in the biggest stage in League of Ireland football. Especially how the league campaign has kind of sort of fizzled out. It's one that we've a lot to kind of salvage from, and hopefully we can bring this trophy back to Cork on Sunday night.
How do you contain that excitement of this week, and how do you avoid burning off a lot of energy with kind of nervous tension?
Yeah, it can be a little bit draining, especially for lads that haven't experienced it before. But you got to. A lot of people say sort of play the game, not the occasion. But you have to play the occasion. It's a cup final. You're playing in front of 30,000-40,000 people. It's new to a lot of players. It's a lot different to playing, Turner's Cross. You're playing. Look, we played up in Finn Harps as well. We've done quite well in the cup campaign so far, but it'll be just a normal week with a few things to do as a team to kind of help that togetherness. And look, everything helps, and we're really looking forward to Sunday now.
The performance against St. Pat's, I think it's said today, was the high point of the season so far. What clicked for you that night?
If I knew that, we probably wouldn't be relegated. So I don't know. I think the way we set out, the crowd, everything. We scored an early goal. Ev scores 2 within 60 seconds. Everything clicked that we all wanted throughout the season. It hasn't happened that way. But look, we know Rovers are in the Conference League. They've won the league. But we played them twice already at Turner's Cross this year, and we put it up to them. We came away from the game unfortunate not to win the game. So we know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and hopefully we can capitalise on those weaknesses come Sunday.
The Cross was bouncing against St. Pat's in the semi-final. How much of a help was that?
Oh, massive! Like that was the crowd that we were playing in front of every single week in 2017, 2016, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people, and it can really give you that edge. It's an old cliche saying they can really be a 12th man, but hopefully the Cork people can be that 12th man come Sunday. And look, I know they're going to be travelling in their numbers because we haven't really given that much a shout about this year, probably bar one game at the Cross. But look, we'll be setting up what we want to do all week, and hopefully we can bring it on a Sunday.
As you mentioned, you ran Shamrock Rovers quite close to Turner's Cross a couple of times. What are their strengths as a team, do you think?
Look, I think they've got the best squad in the league. I think that's why they finished top, because playing cup competitions in the Champions League, Europa League, now in the Conference League, they're able to mix and match their team. They got quality players, like especially in their midfield. We nullify some of their strengths, like the likes of Berkey. I played with Berkey at Preston. He is the standout player in the league, and there's a couple other players there that. There's some players that already don't make the 11, they'll probably make every other team in the country. So I think if we're at 100% and we nullify the players that I've mentioned, then we have a great chance. Well, as I said before, look, I know they're a great team, but would I swap any of those players for any of our players in the squad? Probably not. You know what I mean? Because I believe in these players come Sunday. It's a young squad, and with a mixture of all their heads, and that can be hopefully a great match come Sunday.
How much has relegation hurt you personally? How much has it hurt the team, and do you use that hurt going into Sunday as motivation?
Yeah, I suppose I've experienced everything as a Cork City player in only the space of probably 2.5 years I've spent at the club altogether, winning titles, winning cups, now relegation. Like, I didn't set out to come back to Cork to get relegated within the year. I set out to make cup finals and make European football, and that's why I want to help the club. And there was a stage, obviously, where we played Galway. I think the week before Pats, where I was pretty upset because we weren't automatically relegated, but we were pretty much there, and it really upset me. And when I came off the pitch against Pat's last 5 minutes, Mick Ring turned around to me and said, look, it's mad how a week in football can change. Week previous, it was nearly in tears because we nearly got relegated, and the week after we reached cup final, and I've obviously scored a goal. So a lot of things can happen in football, and you got to cherish these moments, and we'll do everything we can now this week to help us do that.
And obviously, getting back up at the first try has to be the aim for Cork City next season.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've keep the bones of the squad we have this year, add a few more mature and experienced heads, and I'm sure we'll do what we did last year and come up automatically. And then it's about sustaining our Premier League status. Look, I think if myself and especially Ruairi Keaton were fit for most of the season together, I think it would have been more enough to keep us well clear of the relegation zone, not just fighting it. And we've been quite unlucky, but you can't talk about ifs, buts and maybes, because you're going to have stuff like things like that, like Greg being out, Cottle being out. So it's been a difficult year, but as I said, hopefully we can pack those Cork City travellers home with something to show about.
How good is it to have Ruairi Keating back? It's great to see him back in the pitch at Turner's Cross last week.
Oh, it's amazing. I think what I've seen him go through the last sort of 7 months in terms of what he does in the gym, on the football pitch, the way he's been living his life, it's been absolutely brilliant to see it finally come to light now the other day to get a half an hour. He's been back on the pitch 6 or 7 weeks or so, and he's looking sharper by the week. And as I said, hopefully he can rewrite his own history and the club's history by hopefully scoring the winner come Sunday.
Finally, Sean, personally, Sunday will be the first time your son will see you play in the Aviva Stadium. How huge is that for you, and how big a moment is it going to be for you to see Cork City lift the cup on Sunday?
Yeah, hopefully I'll have Romeo in the middle of that when I'm lifting the trophy Sunday. But these are sort of the things you play football for. Little boy come and watch me at Aviva. Obviously didn't experience that last time round, but my wife, my mum and dad, my wife's mum and dad, everyone involved. It's sort of a thing that doesn't come around that often. As I said, there's players families coming from Australia, America, England. These are sort of things you play football for, and hopefully when the going gets tough on Sunday, hopefully it doesn't happen. I can look to my side and look at my wife and my little boy on the sideline to give me that extra level or two. But as I said, these are the things you want to play football for, and hopefully it'll be all smiles and optimism come Sunday.
Just very finally, your message for the fans for Sunday.
Yeah, look, I think they've been amazing all year, whether if it's travelling away from home or at Turner's Cross. We haven't given much to shout about, and we can only control what's on the pitch, and they can only control by their emotions and their enthusiasm of it. And hopefully again on Sunday they can bring it all to Aviva, hopefully a packed out South Stand, and they can help us lift that trophy in my left there.
Best luck Sunday.
Cheers, Roy. Thank you.